Hi, British Biker here. Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to do a little review on the Yamaha BWS 125 scooter 2021. Now I own the D edition, which is kind of the limited edition when it first came out with all the framework and everything. So I'm going to talk about the bike itself, the specs, the engine, anything else about it that I can find online to talk about that you might be interested in. I'm also going to tell you about any modifications I've done to the bike, anything I've added, and what I think about the bike. So do I like it? What are the good points? What are the bad points? So stick with me and watch the video with me. You'll see me riding around on here as well. So a little bit of fun just to watch as well while you're listening. Thanks a lot. And let's start with, well, we're going to start with actually, it's a fuel injected 125cc engine with a fully automatic CVT transmission, which is continuously variable transmission, seamlessly changes all the gears through an unending range of effective gear ratios while you drive. Some others are a fixed number of gears ratio and they're hard shifts between each, so you're going to feel all that clunk clunk clunk. Okay, moving on to the brakes. There's a 245mm hydraulic front disc with twin piston calipers and 220mm rear disc brake. So there's not much to talk about the brakes. They're pretty good. They stop the vehicle really well. Just remember to change them every now and again. Get the garage to change it or change it yourself. It's reasonably easy to do. It's cost effective to do it yourself as well, as long as you know what you're doing, or find a YouTube video that can show you how to do it. Look at this pretty little digital display. It's really good actually. You've got the time on there, you've got the mileage, trip and everything else. It tells you how fast you're going, you've got the tachometer, and obviously there's other selects and everything that tell you. Don't know if it tells you about the range of the fuel that you've got left in there, but it certainly tells you the speed you're doing, and the tachometer, like I say, and the clock. It actually does come in handy. It saves you looking at your watch, and obviously we all know that we shouldn't really take our eyes off the road, so you shouldn't really be looking at your mobile phone or cell phone at all. But yeah, the clock's on there just to help as well. It's quite a good little display. It's not lit at all, but nice little digital display there. Sits right in front, the centre of the handlebars. So wow, yeah, look at that. That's a full-size helmet in that compartment underneath the seats. There's a large 29-litre space. Pretty good, but that's about it, just a full-size helmet. I will talk about extra storage that I've got on mine a little bit later on in the video, so stick with the end and I'll tell you more about that. So as I mentioned, it's a 125 or 125cc engine, 4-stroke. It gives out pretty good power really for its size, about 55 mile an hour. So the maximum power is 5.4 kilowatts at 7,500 revs per minute RPM. So it's a 12 horsepower engine with 11.2 newton meters of power. So it's like I say, 4-stroke engine, small but pretty good for its size. So a single overhead cam is what the BWS 125 has. It's a single overhead camshaft, SOHC. So it controls both the intake and the exhaust fumes all in that one little cam. Pretty powerful for a tiny little 125. Turn the key, let all the lights go off on the instrument panel in front of you. Pull the brake in and push a button. There's no kickstart for the little scooter. Obviously the BWS has a CBS combined braking system, so you can use your left hand and to control the brake. It's going to control both, so if you really needed to, you could pull the front brake on, pull the lever on the right hand side and push the button all with one hand, because it all works together, which is quite convenient. It does come with a centre stand and a side stand as well as standard. It's pretty easy going, really. There's a Repsol lubrication for the reliability and easy maintenance as well. Effective air cooling system which keeps the engine cool even when you're stopped at traffic lights. So it's giving maximum efficiency and a longer lasting engine as well. I like it. Like I say, it's a fully automatic clutch as well. Just twist it and go. The suspension on the BWS is pretty good to considering. There's 144 kilograms maximum load, and I weigh 100 kilograms. So if I have a passenger on there, it's not the best. So I actually upgraded my suspension to make it a better ride. So it's more comfortable for me and the passenger. So it's 1.7 gallon or 6.5 litre fuel tank. I do have 2 extra tanks on the front of mine. You can see one of them in the video, and I'll talk about them a little bit later on. I'll show better pictures, but I use them just for longer journeys, just in case there's if I'm riding at night and there's no service stations or fuel stations anywhere, I've always got fuel that I can rely on as backup. So I do have extra tanks on there just in case, but 1.7 gallon isn't too bad. The tank emission system has a charcoal canister, so it helps control the fuel evaporation and helps reduce the air pollution. So if you are stuck at traffic lights for 90 seconds or so, maybe a bit longer in Taiwan, it does help with the air pollution, so it's pretty good as well. Not bad for a little one. The chocolate style, aggressive looking, knobbly tyres as I call them, come as standard on a brand new BWS. So on the front 12-inch wheel and on the rear 12-inch. So the tyres are 120 70s on the front and 130 70 on the rear. What do you think of the tyres? I actually changed them after a while. They sounded cool, they looked alright, but then I just thought, no, I want that smoother feel for the roads. If you want to do that kind of off-roading, it's not really an off-roading adventure bike, but it kind of has that same feel, especially with those tyres added to it as well. So the 12-inch wheels are 5-spoke, lightweight die-cast aluminium wheels. So the front lights, they're actually halogen, they're not LED, but they do light up the road pretty well. One, if you look, one is smaller than the other to give the main beam. I actually call mine Dwayne, being that, giving it the eyes and everything, being one smaller and bigger than the other. Just underneath the key ignition, there's a USB socket. There's also a little cup holder. You have the fold-out cargo hook, shelf on the front for a rack or a basket. So 1,910 millimeters in length, 75.2 inches, 765 millimeters in width, 30.1 inches, 1,125 millimeters in height, 44.3 inches, 780 millimeters is the seat height, 30.7 inches, and the ground clearance is 125 millimeters, 4.9 inches. The wet weight is 119 kilograms, and the maximum load, as I said earlier, is 144 kilograms. Now, I did change the pegs for the passenger on this because I wanted a little bit more room for me when I'm manoeuvring, getting in and out of spots, and to make it a little bit more comfortable for the passenger. So here's the pictures for them, and you can see it's moved back an inch and a half, maybe 2 inches. It does make a difference. So shortly after purchasing the scooter, I bought these saddlebags from the dealer, and they're okay. They're not too big, they're half decent size for the scooter. I only keep my waterproofs and a few little things in there, like the nets and that kind of thing. If I'm like the strap elasticated nets things like that, and the elastic hooks. But cosmetically wise, they're not solid enough. They don't hang properly. They kind of slouch down. And maybe I'll get some metal boxes or something that later on, because I don't like the way they hang down. As I mentioned earlier, I have got some extra fuel cans, canisters that I've put on the side of the front. This is what they look like. I think it's all about storage as well when you're on the bike. So I've actually got back box as well as the side bags and the fuel cans, and I want a little bit of wind deflection as well. So I have the added extra of the screen. It does make it a little bit more adventure bike looking. It's quite a big scooter, so having that screen on there, the back box, the side bags, those fuel cans, it does make it look a little bit bigger. So how else can I make storage even better? Well, I've also added a little cup holder for the passenger. I've got these bags that sit on the foot plate behind the fairing, and that has a little bit more extra storage for me. There's a small bag, waterproof bag, that I have underneath the display, just in case I want to put anything in there that I need to grab hold of quickly. My phone can go in there. I do have a good anti-shock phone holder on there as well. So a little bit about the bike. I'm 5'9", 175 centimeters thereabouts, and size 10 feet. The plate can be a little bit bigger, but it's not too bad. My feet get on there okay. When I'm riding, my elbows are comfortable. They're not stretched out, they're not straight or anything. And the wing mirrors, they stick out enough for me to not put the elbows in all the time, so I can easily glance back and have a view. Overall, I really like the scooter. It's a very, very comfortable ride itself, and I go in the mountains with it I say all the time, but every now and again I take it out for a long ride. And I did take it around the island of Taiwan. If you haven't seen it already, go back, have a look at the videos, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye.